get that, but the thing for me would be the busted noses, the broken ribs, all of that.
Hockey's a tough sport. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm there for.
Okay.
You're there for the cup. I'm there for the bruised ribs.
Okay. Aside from all the physicality, let's just break down the squads. Come on now, you know the drill. Gotta go with the stats and the player info, right? Victor Arvidsson for Nashville, Ryan Johansson, and shouts to PK Subban. Those are some stars you need to know that are on the Predators. But then the Penguins, the defending champs, they're going to get the 5th Stanley Cup this year. They have Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid, probably the best hockey player in the world.
Okay.
Josh Archibald, Matt Cullen. These guys are deep. They're going to win it, I'm telling you. The Nashville Predators are making their first ever trip to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Wow.
All right. The Penguins have some history behind them. They're going for their 5th overall Stanley Cup championship.
Wow. You know what? Right off the back, I think I want Nashville to win.
The Southern team?
Yeah, number one, because they're the Southern team, and I am a Southern belle.
All right. And it's their first trip in the finals?
And it's their first trip. And then plus, I love country music.
It is the capital of the world. Now, it's kind of weird to mix in the Grand Ole Opry and hockey.
Well,
those two just don't
yes, they do.
seem to... It's working, obviously, but it just seems odd to me.
Well, come on. Country fans love hockey, too. We love it.
I guess clearly they do because Bridgestone Arena is sold out every night during the regular season, in the playoffs, and now in the finals. And I gave you the angle from Pittsburgh. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals was Monday.
All right.
But before this all started, I had already picked Pittsburgh to win it in 5 games over Nashville. It's a nice story for the Predators, but I'm going with the proven squad, the Pens, to get their 5th Stanley Cup trophy.
Well, by default, of course, I'm going to stick with Nashville since it's a Southern team and I'm a Southern belle once again.
All right.
However,
you wanted to see the fights.
Yeah. Technically, to be honest, I just want to see some bruised ribs and busted nose. Are they going to be doing that?
You don't really see the fights at this point. Then not in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Are you serious?
Why are you going to waste that energy in fighting? I mean, they're fighting, but they're not going to stop to actually have the traditional fight.
Oh, okay. So
because the trophy's on the line.
Oh, I get it.
You worked all year long.
And you fought all year long. Then when you get to the Stanley Cup, you want to be gentlemen and you don't want to have no bloody nose.
Don't get it twisted. There's still going to be some hard hits up against the glass.
Knuck if you buck. I want to see that.
There's still going to be some hard hits up against the glass.
Now
There's
we're
still
back.
going to be some body checks.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about the actual where they stop and then they just square off. Ain't nobody got time for that because that's a 5-minute penalty. And you're not trying to sit out any penalty minutes when the championship's on the line.
Well, right off the back, let me just go on and put this to rest, Northern boy, that the Southern team is going to knock out the Penguins because the country boys play and fight hard. So I'm going all the way for Nashville. Nashville! Go ahead.
All right, so you got the Nashville Predators. Yep. I'm going to stick with my Pittsburgh Penguins pick. We'll see whatever happens. Just like we did with the NBA Finals, don't make me put back the flashback button.
I mean, you're a penguin, for goodness sake.
And hear your erroneous picks.
A penguin. I'm a predator. Come on. That's it.
All right, we know games are important.
Uh-huh.
But life is what really matters.
Of course.
And we are married to the game. We were devastated to learn of the suicide bombing at Manchester Arena on May 22nd.
Yeah, prayers go out to all the victims and the families.
Absolutely. Kids were involved in that. And it was a cowardly act of terrorism. And
extremely
how it finds its place in this show is because sometimes the real world and the sports world collide together.
Okay.
And so because of this, there is an immediate aftermath and an increase in security at sporting events.
Yeah. And I think that's I think that's great that they're playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be safe than sorry. So if you want to beef up security, for the safety of the fans who are attending these events and spending lots of money at these events, then hey, that's what you got to do.
In Europe right now, we have the French Open.
Right.
Down the pipeline, as far as major international sporting events, Wimbledon and the British Open. That's in June and July. Of course, there's soccer matches. And there's been, just in recent years, whether it's France, Germany, or England, there's been a lot of terroristic bombing attacks.
I noticed that.
And cricket is another thing that's huge overseas.
Really?
And the International Cricket Council Champions Trophy, the ICC, it's underway. And here's some interesting commentary. Quote, security organizer was one of the first hires we made. And this is coming from Steve Elworthy. He's the tournament director for the ICC Champions Trophy. They are an incredibly important part of any tournament. The security plan, the formation of it, the engagement of all the stakeholders, the venues who deliver these tournaments for us are incredibly important. We are as well prepared as we can be. Safety and security is at the center of all of our planning, and there is a huge amount of engagement that goes on from the local organizing committee with England and Wales Cricket Board, the local boroughs, council, police forces in terms of delivering safe and secure tournaments. That is all part and parcel of putting a security plan together. End quote. And it's important that he delivers this message home because people can want to stay away for fear. And if that happens, then the terrorists win.
That's true. That's true. And thank goodness it won't happen because we don't cower away when evildoers come to us. We stand up and we let them know that our lives will not be changed and we will still enjoy each and every event that is out there.
Absolutely.
And I am so glad that sporting events and artists and everyone is beefing up security and protecting their fans because that's what matters, the fans.
Yeah, and even here stateside, it can be somewhat of an inconvenience going through the long lines and the hassles, but it's important. And it's better to be safe than sorry. And I want them to have all of the measures in place.
Right.
And you don't need to be a diehard fan to have a stake in security.
I know that's right. You don't have to. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, when things arise like that, you evaluate, like your plan of action and how you go about things.
Right.
And you figure out what needs to be changed, what needs to be beefed up. And that's what they do. And me personally, I don't get in the, oh my God, it's such long lines, or oh my God, this is too much.
Absolutely. On the plus side, One Love Manchester show is going to be on Sunday. Ariana Grande is not going to be knocked off her game.
She's doing a benefit concert.
She's going to do a benefit concert.
Right.
Some of the stars that are going to be with her, Coldplay, Katy Perry, Pharrell, Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber. So they're going to be there to be raising some money and some funds for the people whose lives were lost. Again, at Married to the Game, we extend our condolences. And it's unfortunate that sometimes the real world and the sports world collide. But this was a security story that we definitely had to cover.
Understood.
Okay, so let's close things out on a high note.
All right.
You're always clamoring about celebrities or entertainment type stuff.
Yes.
Well, here you go. Global mixed gender basketball.
This is what I'm talking about.
They have celebrity owners, specifically Atlanta's own Tiny Harris.
Yes, so awesome.
She owns the Atlanta Airs, and they have a tryout on Saturday, June 3rd.
They do. And what I really love about this particular league, this is a great example of blending sports and entertainment and bringing people in the world.
Well, I would say it's more so co-ed than blending sports and entertainment because sports and entertainment have always been linked to the hip since day one.
No, what I mean by that, Mr. Expert, is in your world, it's all, it's not the celebrities. It's more about the game itself. But this is bringing the fun to it. And who doesn't love a little paparazzi type atmosphere? So you have the celebrities who have ownership of these teams.
Well, Tiny Harris is a big draw.
Right. And
name alone, she'll bring in all people from Atlanta.
Come on. I'm an Escape fan. And by the way, they are getting back together. Yes, they are. Well, they are back together, by the way. That's a little tidbit. Okay, so back to the game.
You know what? The proof is in the pudding. When the album drops, that's when I'll be, because I don't want to. Don't set me up for the fall.
You know sports. Okay, but I know entertainment.
But just don't set me up for the fall, because we've been waiting for an Escape album for a long time.
I got you, and they're back together. They're on tour now.
Okay.
So, but back
don't
to
break my heart.
I got you. I got you. So back to the game, though. I am happy to see someone of her caliber who has taken ownership of a team like that. And because I think that's going to bring in major coverage and major revenue. Come on. We're talking about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
This is how the breakdown of it is. First quarter, basketball is 5-on-5, right?
Right.
So for the first quarter, there are 3 women and 2 men. Second quarter, 3 men, 2 women. And they flip for the third and the fourth, doing the same thing.
Wow. You already know the women go win all the time.
Well, no.
So they mix it up?
Exactly. They're on the same team. It's not men versus women.
Oh, man.
So it's 3 women and 2 men on the same team.
Well, the women are going to pull the team.
And then they flip it in the second quarter where it's 3 men and 2 women.
The women are still going to pull the team back. I mean, that's just the way it is because women are strong. But with that being said, I'm going to, of course, go for the home team, Atlanta.
The Atlanta Airs. We're rooting for them. And this is the first professional co-ed basketball league.
I love it.
Now, I've seen mixtures of that, like fun games like in high school and college, or even the celebrity games during All-Star Weekend. But that's just one little day, and then that's the end of it. This is a league that's going to play for an entire season, have a playoff, and then a championship.
And the cool thing about it, it gives people, like athletes who, let's say whether they're retired or whether they just, want to come back for the game or just because, you have a lot of professional athletes.
Well, for the tryouts, it's the real deal. It's not weekend warriors who want to try to get off the couch and try to play.
I hear what you're saying. But
it's going to be some guys who can play some ball now.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying even retired athletes could play some ball. But the guys that are going to be in this league, they are not NBA material. Let's just keep it 100 now. I like to keep stuff real. So keeping it real, they're not NBA material. They're not WNBA material. So they're going here. And I think that's just alternative. We're all about alternative facts.
So
we're all about that's the thing now.
No, but we deliver the real news, no fake news. But the global mixed gender basketball is going to be something to see. Looking forward to Saturday's tryouts here in Atlanta. We're rooting for the ATL Airs. Tiny Harris. Escape. Amen. Looking for that album. Don't break my heart. Need to hear it. Need it in my life.
Who can I run to?
We're going to let them sing it, and we're going to put you aside to that.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all good.
All right.
Well, the clock's hit 000, and that's all the time we have for today. It's been a thin slice of heaven chilling here with you. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Married2Game1. That's the number 2 and the number 1. You can check us on Instagram at Married to the Game Podcast. It's also with the number 2. Or like our Facebook page, Married to the Game. We'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace. Married to the Game was written by Rory Chirac and Lakita Chirac for Chirac Media Group. The podcast was mixed and produced by Traxa Taylor. For more information, email us at rchirac@chiracmediagroup.com.